Hi, my name is John Farmer. In today's training session, we will cover our Emergency Action Plan, the EAP. The purpose of an Emergency Action Plan is to do as much as possible to keep you safe in case of a disaster. When an emergency occurs, confusion as what to do can make a bad situation worse and put lives at risk. Each branch has a branch-specific EAP posted on the Branch Communication Safety Board. The EAP provides guidance on the following topics: emergency coordinators and phone numbers. This includes hazardous substance spills and poison control, just to name a few. Fire and emergency evacuation. Natural disasters such as tornadoes or earthquakes, medical emergencies, bomb threats, and workplace security.
Let's start by discussing tornadoes. The United States has more tornadoes than any other country. On average, 1,000 tornadoes are recorded each year. Tornadoes are more frequent in the afternoon, but they can happen anywhere at any time. In the event of a tornado watch in your immediate area, meaning the atmospheric conditions are right for tornado development, your branch will designate a person to listen to the radio for updates on condition changes and/or warnings. All employees should be made aware of the tornado watch and given the opportunity to go home. The branch safety representative should be prepared to move all employees to the designated shelter area of your branch. If you are not sure where your tornado shelter is, please ask your branch safety representative or your regional vice president. If a tornado warning is issued, you will be notified by the intercom system if your branch has it available. Otherwise, one sound of the air horn indicates that all employees are to move to the safe shelter area. If a tornado does strike your branch, wait for the tornado to pass before evacuated employees. Ensure that all employees are accounted for and given assistance as needed. This is your reminder to not leave the branch until you have been accounted for. Do not move any seriously injured employees unless they are in immediate danger. Notify 911 of assessment of injuries. Your regional vice president will communicate to the team the cleanup phase or when you should report back to the branch. Allied's policy is to evacuate all employees in the event of a fire, explosion, or release of hazardous materials. You should only use a fire extinguisher if you are trained and feel comfortable using the fire extinguishing equipment. In the event of a fire, notify management or call 911. Upon hearing the fire alarm, air horn, or verbal notification, all employees are to exit the facility and proceed to your rally point. You should always know at least 2 points of exit in your branch or at other locations. If you are not sure where your rally point is, ask your branch safety representative. A head count will be taken, so please do not leave without notifying your supervisor. No employees are permitted to re-enter the building until the all clear is given. Remember, it is easy to use a fire extinguisher when you remember pass. Pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the operating handle, and sweep side to side.
When I think about earthquakes, I think about California, not the Midwest. This past year, like many of you, I felt many earthquake tremors and even had pictures come off the walls at my house. If an earthquake strikes your location, follow these steps. If you are inside of a warehouse during an earthquake, quickly move to a safe place that is free of falling hazards. Crouch under a sturdy piece of furniture or cover your head with your arms and stay put until the shaking stops. Stay away from any light fixtures that can fall and stay inside until the shaking stops. You want to stay away from products that are stored on elevated racking. If you are in an office, the safest place is usually under your desk, protecting you from filing cabinets, bookshelves, and other tall office furniture that could easily fall during an earthquake. Shelter away from all windows. Stay in your safe place until the shaking has stopped, then proceed to your branch rally point. Remember, do not walk over downed power lines or wet, slick surfaces. Do not re-enter the building until the all clear has been given by your regional vice president or branch safety representative. If an earthquake occurs while you're driving, slow down. Look for an open area to stop and pull over as soon as it's safe to do so. Avoid parking under or near bridges, overpasses, signs, building overhangs, power lines, trees, or any other hazard that might fall onto your car. Turn off the engine, set the parking brake, and stay seat belted in your car until the earthquake is over. If a power line falls onto your vehicle, stay inside and wait until emergency workers remove the wire. Only leave your vehicle if staying inside poses an immediate threat to the welfare of you or your passengers. For our employees traveling to customer locations, always assess your location and have a plan in place in an event of emergency is to occur. Planning for medical emergencies is an important factor in assisting those in need of medical intervention. In the event of a medical emergency, yell for help from others, then call 911. Seek assistance from personnel that are first aid, CPR, and AED trained. We will have a first aid, CPR, and AED training class available to all employees later this year. It's important to remain calm and assess the area to make sure a secondary injury does not occur. Always remember when calling 911 that you need to be prepared to provide specific information such as your branch address and your exact location, like in the warehouse on row 4. You should always have a person wait by the door to guide paramedics or other emergency responders to the location immediately. Then notify the Director of Safety.
If a chemical spill occurs, immediately notify your manager, regional vice president, or the Director of Safety and Operations. Review the Product Safety Data Sheet, SDS. Our SDSs are found on the Allied Oil website. Evacuate the building if necessary. Secure the area and alert site personnel. Attend to injured personnel and call the medical emergency number if required. Begin containing the spill only if you are trained and authorized to do so. Use the appropriate equipment such as pads, booms, absorbent powder, etc. to clean up the spill. If the spill is large, activate the spill cleanup procedures by contacting the designated personnel shown on the first page of your branch-specific emergency action plan. And work with your manager to complete the Allied Oil spill form. Bomb threats, whether genuine or a hoax, are becoming more common. We need to be prepared. Our management team and customer service representatives will be provided proper training on how to handle a bomb threat that is called in, or how to handle a suspicious package. If a bomb threat occurs, you will be notified by a member of management to evacuate our building immediately and to go to your designated rally point. Remember, do not leave without notifying your supervisor. We will cooperate with local law enforcement and federal protective services. No employees shall be permitted back into the branch without approval from senior management.
Allied Oil and Supply recognizes that violence in the workplace is a growing nationwide problem. We are committed to maintaining a safe, healthful, and efficient environment where employees and customers are free from the threat of violence regardless of the source or type.
Thanks, John. Workplace violence is any act or threat of physical violence, harassment, intimidation, or other threatening disruptive behavior that occurs in the workplace. It ranges from threats and verbal abuse to physical assaults and, in the worst case scenario, even homicide. You should always report suspicious behavior, verbal or nonverbal threats, abuse, bullying, or anything that makes you feel uncomfortable to your supervisor, regional vice president, human resources, or to Steve Phillips, our president. Let's watch an active shooter training video.
Active shooter events can occur anywhere at any time, and frequently involve individuals attempting to kill others indiscriminately. These events are unpredictable and can evolve quickly. For this reason, whenever you enter a building as an employee, guest, or customer, you must be prepared and know what it is you will do if faced with the worst case scenario, even if it's just another day at the office.
Last night, every time I closed my eyes, all I could see were slide decks.
Don't remind me. Sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything?
Hey, you got a minute to catch me up on that thing?
Yeah, come on in. Is Amelia here too?
Let me grab her, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
When startled by a gunshot, it's a natural human reaction to freeze. Unfortunately, this response leaves you vulnerable to what might come next. If you see someone frozen in place in this type of situation, make your best attempt to assist them.
I think it's critical that we find a way to make sure this doesn't happen again. We've wasted way too much time.
That's gunfire.
Are you sure that was a gunshot?
That's gunfire.
Was that really a gunshot? Call the police.
If you can't easily evacuate, the best option is to hide. Lock the door, stay close to the ground, and try to find cover from any stray gunfire that may penetrate the walls. If you're able, call 911.
What was that?
Sounded like a gunshot. What should we do?
Come on, let's get out of here.
When possible, the best alternative in an active shooter event is to run. If your path is clear and you can safely reach an exit, evacuate as soon as possible. Of course, some may not have such easy access to a safe exit. In these situations, you must decide for yourself whether it is best to evacuate or to hide. As with any of these options, if you do choose to run, commit to this action. And remember, police will be arriving to assist you and to evacuate the wounded, so be sure to keep your hands up and empty as you clear the building. Otherwise, put simply, don't stop running. Once clear of danger, make contact with 911 to assist their response by providing them information about the shooter, the weapons they're carrying, and the amount of wounded that may still need medical assistance. If you have been unable to evacuate and are trapped in the facility during an active shooter situation, remember, making the decision to hide does not prevent you from putting up a fight later. If you are confronted by the active shooter, you have to assume that your actions are all that stand between yourself, your colleagues, and grave harm. Fight for your life. Search around you for sharp or heavy objects that you may use to disable the attacker. Collaborate with those around you to ensure you aren't acting alone. You're taking action for your survival, so do not hold back, and do not stop fighting until you know beyond certainty that you are safe.
Committing to run, to hide, or to fight will keep you safer than if you freeze during a crisis. Remember to prioritize your safety. If you come across those who are wounded and may need assistance, assist them if you can, but do not let them inhibit your escape.
As an individual, the most important thing you can do to keep yourself safe, whether it is to run, hide, or to fight, is to commit to your decision and to continuously reevaluate the situation.
Allied Oil does have a plan in place in the event we are impacted by workplace violence event. We should all do our best to be proactive and report all suspicious activity to your supervisor, regional vice president, or human resources.
Because our industrial services and ESCO employees work in a variety of client facilities and in multiple locations within a location, we have a site emergency action plan. The supervisor on a job is responsible to coordinate with the client on evacuation routes and emergency procedures for the job. The supervisor must also communicate this information to other employees on the job site. All employees must know at least 2 exit points and the location of the safe rally point.